Hi, I'm John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy with another Global Real Estate School podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining another podcast and YouTube video with Global Real Estate School. And I'm excited to continue our series with USA Mortgage. And today we have Chelsea and Liz from USA Mortgage. They're going to talk to you about some really cool things that they have for you as real estate professionals. But first, I want to remind everybody they are an equal housing lender, and I have the license number. We want to be sure and mention that 227-262, and we have some other information down below. But Chelsea and Liz, thank you so much for joining. And I've said this same thing. I sound like a broken record, but one of the things that has really always attracted me to USA Mortgage is going back to like 2011, 12, may have been 13 or 14, but back when the housing crisis kind of happened right after the 08, 09 housing crisis. I was at this meeting and I was so impressed because there was a USA Mortgage loan officer there who was talking about helping people repair their credit so that they could become homeowners again. Because at that time in our country's history, there were so many people that lost homes, their credit was beat up. And I just thought that was so impressive that here was a loan officer who's like trying to help people, knowing he's not going to get a deal in 30 days from a lot of the people he's working with, but yet your core values for your company is that, look, we want everybody to be a homeowner, and we know you might not be able to buy next month, but if we can help you get back on the right track, we want to do that. So that's why I'm so excited to partner with USA Mortgage and why I highly recommend them. But tell us a little bit, because a lot of people watching are new agents and some are existing agents, but I think a lot of times agents forget, even myself, that you're doing much more than just providing loans and helping people with loans, but you're helping real estate agents in a really cool way as well. So I'll let you kind of explain this, Chelsea, and then Liz, you can hop in and talk a little bit about some of this as well.
Awesome. Yeah. And thank you, John, for having us. Super excited to be partnering with you guys. For everybody, I'm Chelsea Vonder Haar. I'm our Senior Vice President of Marketing here at USA Mortgage. And we have shaped our whole marketing team and our offerings to help you guys, real estate agents, grow your business in a new and different way. Because there's so much competition out there for real estate agents. And, how are you going to differentiate yourself? And that's with your marketing, really showing people who you are and why they want to work with you. So we have developed our marketing over the last several years, and when we're developing new things, we're always keeping in the back of our mind, what's going to help agents the most? What's going to help them grow their business the most? So we offer a couple different things. What we're probably most well known for is our print marketing, specifically for your buyers, your sellers, and any farming marketing that you want to do. So we actually have our own production printers at our corporate office in St. Louis. So we don't outsource any printing. We do all of it ourselves. And that helps you get a really cost-effective price and still maintaining the high quality that you would get from like a third-party production company. So we do everything from not just basic listing or open house flyers. We do listing brochures. Those are a really good way to kind of elevate any listing that you have. It's definitely one step up from a basic open house flyer. We do everything from door hangers, wine bottle labels, water bottle labels, books. So we do tons of like sellers presentation books, buyers presentation books, postcards, and then our most popular item that we offer, and Liz can talk about her experience with it because I know she does a lot of it. We do every door direct mailers. That's kind of our specialty. That's a way to really kind of mass mail to an area that you're really interested in targeting. We've seen tons of success from that from agents. Not only are they reaching a bunch of people that they, when you're a new agent, you may not have a big sphere of influence yet. You're trying to build that
Right.
sphere of influence. So these
And I
EBDMs
gotta
are a way to do that.
It is, and I have to jump in because when you said door hangers and working a neighborhood, I got my license when I was 18 in 1978, and I want our listeners and viewers to know I had to pay for that stuff. Now, I mean, you make sure that all the RESPA guidelines are covered so that
Yes. Yeah.
nobody's gonna get in trouble but
Right.
the ability for agents to have this benefit from USA Mortgage is huge. I had a lady the other day, and it always saddens me when a new agent said, I'm having a tough time getting started and I don't know what to do. And here you're providing these types of resources and door hangers. Let me tell you what, I would just go, Liz and Chelsea, and I would just like hang them on the door. Sometimes I wouldn't even knock on the door. And I remember 6 months after I had worked this one subdivision, a lady called me and wanted me to come out and list her house. And I'm like, I didn't even know the lady. When I got there, she had one of my door hangers. It was all faded and crinkled. But I did more deals from that lady. And I think about that all the time. Had I not gone out and knocked on those doors or just use those door hangers. So I love that idea. That's really cool. And Liz, have you worked with some folks on like, we call it farming, and I
Mhm.
talk a little bit about that, but or just listed and just sold postcards. I mean, those are huge to do. And the other thing, and sometimes people don't know this, new agents, is there are successful agents in your office and they don't send out just sold cards. You can always customize the card to say, our office just sold a listing, get permission from that that agent in your office, and then go to USA Mortgage. So Liz, tell them how that works. And I'm sorry to jump in there, but that's cool, Chelsea. I love that.
Thank you.
It is very cool. This is a very relationship-based industry. And so that's how we partner with our realtors and saying that we have these things to offer, but then also going that step where I'll go knock on the door with you. Like we can partner this, I can help you grow, I can walk you through all this. But even just for like the just sold, I had a realtor who had two that had just sold at one time. Was able to bring a custom idea over to marketing and saying, hey, how can we get all of this on one postcard, send it all out at the same time. And actually, my realtor got a listing from it. So seeing it work is really exciting. Seeing them get excited that they're growing their business and it's affordable. The option that we get to co-partner together and we have all of these resources in St. Louis is fantastic because they look at our costs and they're like, you're kidding, right? Like that was all that cost. Like we could actually accomplish that and they get excited too. So that's really a fun part of it.
Very, very neat. So that's really good. So me through, Chelsea. I'm a new agent. Um, I'm just got my license from Global Real Estate School, passed my test, and maybe nobody in my office is even using USA Mortgage. We hope someone in your office is, but let's just say a new agent, and we have contact information where they can reach out. But what do they ask you, or how's the process work? I call up and I'm like, okay, I'd like to send some mailers out to this subdivision. What would be the process, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So that actually has happened several times. We've had an agent see one of our marketing pieces and they don't work with a USA Mortgage LO yet, and they see it and they find me and they're like, can I work with somebody? Because I love this. So this has happened a couple times. Um, so normally what we do is we will, first of all, we'll have you meet with our marketing manager because he will walk you through all of the options that you have. This is really important for a newer agent because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So he'll walk you through not only just what USA Mortgage offers, but some tips that we've seen over the years, what is going to be better for your business. And he's really going to have you focus on a couple specific marketing tactics that really speak to you. You don't have to do everything at once that's going to overwhelm you. Start with one or two things. So he'll help you pinpoint those one or two things that really stick out in your mind that you want to start with. Then what he'll do is he'll pair you with a specific person on my team that's going to work with you consistently. That's really important, just so you're not talking to somebody different every single time. You're going to be working with the same person every time, and they will really walk you through all the options, our software where you can get your own online account. You can order everything yourself. You can pay for it all in there. It's really easy and seamless. You can customize everything in there. So my team will pair you with somebody to walk you through the entire process and get you set up on those couple marketing pieces that you want to start with. And then we can just continue to tweak it as your business grows.
That's awesome. Have you, very cool. Thank you. So Liz, I'm curious, we know sometimes as agents, we focus on trying to get listings, and I love to get listings, but have you seen some agents that have maybe used this program to target renters, or, sometimes I've sent postcards to apartment complexes with just when you're getting ready to find your next home, contact me, or I've done VA mail outs and so forth. Anything like that that you've seen some agents do that has worked, or you might suggest?
Definitely. That's one of our first conversations. Who are you trying to target and what are you trying to go buyer or listing? Of course, everyone wants the listing side, but buyers are just as important. And so when you go in and you're like, okay, what kind of neighborhood? We know we want it to be something that's going to grow, something that's going to have some renters, something that people are going to want to buy either that next house or buy their first house from. So we always sit down and talk neighborhood. Who do you know that like has good transition but doesn't have a set agent in it also? That's a focus that you want to have because you want to be able to enter into that neighborhood as well. Rather than like a neighborhood that only has one realtor that always gets all the houses. So trying to help them make that money spend responsible. But I definitely have quite a few that were in renting areas only, for apartment complexes only. There's one that we're getting ready to start that's going to be a condo area. And so definitely like that has to be part of the first thing. And so for the EDM postcard portion, there's a website that we get to go on and I can walk them through together, either over Zoom or while we're in person having coffee. I can explain, okay, like these are the neighborhoods, and we can talk even as far as like what is the income level and how many are residential homes in this area. Like we can get really nitpicky to give the best experience for your money spent.
That's a great point. Yes. And doing that type of work actually helps a lot. So I love that. Um, and the other thing, which I was just blown away, and if you haven't listened or watched the YouTube video with their videographer that I did, USA Mortgage has this whole video department and pre-done videos so that if you don't want to do a lot of video, but they can make that so seamless. And he even travels as well. He told me he was out in Virginia shooting some video. But I was just thinking, because I'm kind of a marketing person, if you sent postcards out and said, I have a video message for you, click the QR code to watch that. I mean, just get as creative as you want, but you have the tools to really help make agents' lives a lot easier. I mean, it's a win-win really, because not only are you helping agents make a living and grow their careers, but you're also connecting agents, us, with home buyers who need a home loan. And so you have some great products that you can provide as well on that end. So I'm just want to ask you, Chelsea, what are anything that you've seen an agent do that's kind of jumped out at you that it's like, that's a great idea, or any success stories that you can think of off the top of your head? I know that's a quick question for you that wasn't coming, but I was just curious if you thought of anybody that came to mind that's doing something really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our most popular marketing pieces that we do, and it seems weird when you first hear about it, is custom coloring books.
No, I know, I love that.
Yeah, we do tons of them, and for different holidays. And they're great because your clients have kids that go to their
Right.
closing. And so we do them for those, we do them for event giveaways. And the amount of great feedback that I've gotten from the coloring books is awesome, because once you've reached somebody's kids, you've kind of reached their parents. Um,
Right.
so we've gotten lots of great ideas from the coloring books, gotten a ton of great feedback off of them. For our EDDMs that we do, the ones that we get the best return on are the ones where people are targeting the neighborhood and subdivision that they currently live in.
Okay.
And advertising yourself as the neighborhood realtor, and that you have a vested interest in their property. And,
Right.
because that really, it finds a way for people to relate to you. You're not just some realtor in their mailbox. You are the person that lives down the street from them. So, we find those to be the most like authentic marketing messages that come across when they're really targeting the people that live near them. Don't just try to focus on, oh, this area has really high home values, so I'm going to try to
Right.
become that realtor for that neighborhood. Relate to the people that live by you,
Right.
the ones that, you have an interest in what their home sells for,
Right.
what somebody can buy the home for. Those are what we get the best feedback on, of when they're actually trying to relate to the people that live right down the street from them.
Right. Exactly.
From that. So I send into my own personal neighborhood, and I always have neighbors taking pictures when it comes in the mail and sending them to me in a text. Like, hey, guess what? You're famous, or we saw you in the mail. Or, like,
Right.
it's really cool. And then also on the coloring book, when I have my name on them as well, my daughter gets excited. She's like, oh, my mom's famous. She's on your stuff. And she starts talking. And then that's something that you can share with the realtors as well, because they can use it as their own children are getting excited, or their neighbors are getting excited. Like, they see it firsthand. It's very cool.
Yeah, that is good. What about and I guess even sometimes one of the very successful events I did years ago was a VA home buyers seminar. And I really was targeting veterans who had an eligibility and were renting. And when I did a live session, now this is going back to the 1980s, I had 7 families, 7 couples show up for that VA seminar, and every one of them bought a home. They all 7 qualified and
Wow.
bought a home. So a number of years ago, and this is before COVID, because I've been doing GoToWebinar and Zoom meetings for years, I did that same principle, but we did it via Zoom. And this time I was able to advertise and get demographics where I could just have my ads show up for renters and people who were veteran or military. And I had 2 people show up, and they both both bought houses. I presume USA Mortgage would, if I'm an agent, I don't know anything about the loan products, but I could get with someone like Liz. She could help do the Zoom webinar and kind of help send out some of the postcards and different things. So, you just have to think outside the box of what can I do that's creative and different. And what I love is USA Mortgage is there to think outside the box with you and figure out what you can do. Now, do you do any kind of magnets with your printing? Or, I know that's a lot of agents like to send magnets
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, we actually we use a company that we partner with. We outsource the magnets,
Okay.
but we get a really great deal off of them. Yeah, right now is football magnet season, so it goes by
Yes.
season,
Right.
obviously. Spring will be baseball season, hockey season, everything. So yes, we do a ton of those.
Very neat. Now, what about marketing pieces for sellers? We've listed a house, we're trying to sell it. And of course, while we're recording this webinar, the market's kind of cooled a tad bit, but there's still low inventory. So if properties are priced right, they're selling. We still have a lot of sellers who put some high prices, but there is a time for those watching when sometimes your listings don't sell the same day they go up for sale. They may sit there for a couple of months, depending on, and again, when interest rates go up, there are ways that you have to market a property. And I remember sometimes I would have flyer boxes, and USA Mortgage, I could get with Liz. She could work up some various programs that you have so that if someone took a flyer, or if you're showing it or you leave those at the house, it helps a person understand, okay, here's how much my approximate closing cost would be, the monthly payment. Do you do some things like that for helping sellers out?
Yes, definitely. From my end, yeah, we do lots of our listing marketing. We do it not just for open houses, but just to leave in the property for any
Exactly.
showings that come through. We'll put like rate tables on there. We'll show like 3 different options, for different down payments, different programs, all of that. Another thing that we do that agents really like is our marketing system where they can order their print marketing. It also creates single property websites. So it'll create
Okay.
a special website just for your listing that's shareable on all social media and via email, all of that. That is really great, not just for marketing that property, but also showing the seller what you're doing. Like, how
Exactly.
impressed is a seller going to be seeing that you made a website for them for their
Exactly.
property? That's the big thing about a lot of the listing marketing that we do. It's not to try to get more buyers, it's to impress your seller. And so they're so impressed by the marketing that you do, even during a time where it is easy to sell your house. They're going to tell their friend that's selling their house, well, this agent, like, even though it's an easy time, like they still did X, Y, and Z to market my property when they didn't have to. It's really about differentiating yourself.
I'm so glad you said that, because I do a lot of technology training at events, and sometimes people will say, yeah, but does that technology really sell the property? And I always tell them just what you said, Chelsea. Probably not. The technology
Mhm.
probably doesn't sell it, but what it does do is it sells the client or the seller, the consumer, on me as a professional. And so if I win the business, it's that property's probably going to sell because someone has their client or customer in the MLS and it matches their criteria, or someone's going to see the for sale sign, however that goes. But it was the technology, it was the marketing that I was planning to do that really helped the seller be convinced to use me. And that's the other item I think that our viewers need to remember, is that USA Mortgage is going to help you differentiate yourself, just what Chelsea said. And the seller's going to say, you know what? I think we want to go with this person because they've got some really cool things they're going to do to help promote our property. So I love that. And that again is a win-win for everybody. Well,
Yeah.
anything, Chelsea or Liz, either one of you want to, we appreciate your information. I have to be honest, I have not been out listing and selling a lot because I'm running my school and I work repeat and referral business. But I told my son-in-law who's helping me with the podcast and different things, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back out and start marketing, because there's so many cool tools that USA Mortgage has just and the business is out there. So anything else you all want to say to our listeners?
I just want to say that being able to utilize all of this marketing that we have in St. Louis, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a true partnership. It builds all of that together. Like, I could reach out and I've got my own marketing coordinator and I can introduce them and we become this team together, realtor, lender, marketing, and we can accomplish, and I can take kind of any idea we have, say, okay, this is an idea, help me keep this together. This is what we want to accomplish, and I know they're there. And so it's really cool. It's helping build the business for the realtor that we are all one team.
Right.
Very, very good. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yeah. Just a couple last thoughts for me. You know, we keep saying St. Louis, but I just want to make sure all your agents know that we're in 49 states. It's just our headquarters and our marketing team that lives in St.
Right.
Louis, but we work with everybody across the country. But you guys are our customer, and we want to make you successful. We love hearing your success stories. We love building relationships with real estate agents. We love hearing about the new deals that you got because of the marketing piece that we helped you send out. That's what we're here for. We know that you probably are not that interested or have time to do a lot of your own marketing, and that's why we're here. We want to help you. We don't, you're new, you might not know everything. We're here to help educate you so you don't feel lost. You're already going through a lot of learning right now. So please feel free to lean on us. We can walk you through our successes, things that we've wish we would do differently. We can really kind of help. We'll have an honest conversation with you and kind of guide you on where you want your business to go. So.
Great. And I have used USA Mortgage a number of times. I reached out to USA because I know Katie Otto very well, who's comes to all of our Missouri Realtor meetings. They're a big supporter of Missouri Realtors. And as I go back to the opening of the podcast, I was so impressed with that gentleman. I knew nothing about USA Mortgage. That was my first introduction. And I thought to myself, that means so much to see someone who's really wanting to help people get back on their feet, become homeowners again. And by the way, for those of you, if you're watching this session, but I think you still have that, Chelsea and Liz, you can help me out, but it's basically a program where you it's not credit repairing, but it's basically kind of, you go and look at everything and you explain or make suggestions on here's what you really need to try to do to get your credit score up to where you can buy a home. I think that's correct. There was some type of program on your website at one time where you could put some information in, but you still offer that service. I think one of your loan officers was saying that he thought that you still do that. Is that correct, or am I out in another world?
No, I think you had mentioned at the beginning that we're here to help educate. And that's exactly what our whole thing is. We might not be able to put it in those 30 days, as you had mentioned, but we want to get you across the field whenever that is. And so if I were just to come across and say, well, you don't qualify now, see you later, I'm not doing my best. And so that's what USA Mortgage is all about, is what they're doing USA Mortgage as well. And it's just making sure that we're here to help, to create homes for people who need it. And so when you can take that time to sit down and go through their credit and explain why it is where it is, and maybe some suggestions on what could help, what percentages matter in credit, all of that, you can help people learn what to save, when to save, and just stay in touch with them. You're working on that relationship the whole time. I think that's what we're on.
Very good. Well, I know that impressed me so much that day. And then I've just worked with, I know many of the loan officers, and I'm just south of St. Louis. And as Chelsea said, you're in 49 different states. Some of our interviews, and you can be able to watch all of them, have been South Dakota. We've been in, talked to Oklahoma and Texas, Hawaii. So kind of all over, and really just good people. So give them a call. We've got their contact information below. Chelsea and Liz, thank you both so much. And I'm telling you, agents, this is so important that what we talked about today, they can help you begin to start those connections and relationships, to build your sphere of influence so you can reach out to the people you know. And then in the process, talk to people like Liz about the various loan programs, because she'll be able to help you and get you up to speed so you'll know how FHA loans and rural development some of the other programs, VA loans. That's when I could learn about that. It gave me confidence, and then I could talk to my consumers and clients and customers, and then as Chelsea so eloquently put it, they like that your service. They're going to tell their friends about you, and that's when the business starts to really become fun and you grow. So, well, thank you so much. I'm serious. Dan and I there's a subdivision that I would love to work, which is not far from me. And I see so much activity in that subdivision. And I thought, I need to start working that. So I'm going to start doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you all for joining.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for
Appreciate it.
watching. Yeah, thanks, Liz and Chelsea. And thanks everyone for watching. Be sure and watch all of our USA Mortgage podcasts and YouTube videos. We have a playlist. You can watch them there. And check out their website. All of the information's listed below. And if you need help locating a loan officer, you can reach out to me or Chelsea or Liz, and we'll get you someone in your area that can help you out. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Thank you for listening to the podcast for Global Real Estate School. I'm John Mayfield, the Real Estate Tech Guy. Go out and make it a great day.
Topics discussed on this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not a commitment to lend. Additional terms and conditions apply. Interest rates and products are subject to change without notice and may or may not be available at time of commitment or lock-in. DAS Acquisition Company, LLC is not affiliated with or endorsed by any government entity or agency, including the USDA, HUD, or VA. DAS Acquisition Company, LLC, doing business as USA Mortgage, MLS number 227262, Equal Housing Opportunity.